First at noon, President Trump is backing up his national security team after inadvertently leaking details of a military strike to a journalist on the messaging app Signal. But some lawmakers are demanding answers. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump says he stands behind National Security Advisor Mike Waltz after sensitive details of a U.S. bombing attack on Houthi rebels were discussed on the messaging app Signal in a text chain that included a reporter.
He's a very good man, and he will continue to do a good job.
Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, was inadvertently included in the group chat.
I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of anything quite like this.
Goldberg said military operations and their timing were discussed and said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared sensitive operational details, including information about targets, weapons, and attack sequencing. Waltz defended his team's use of the Signal app and tried to point the finger back at Goldberg.
This one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room.
On Capitol Hill, reaction appears split mostly along party lines, with Democrats sharply criticizing the leak and Republicans downplaying the significance.
Look, mistakes happen. If it was a mistake, it is what it is, and it won't happen again. I know that.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Ratcliffe were on the text chain and were already scheduled to testify at a hearing Tuesday, where Democrats demanded answers about whether classified material was shared.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why aren't you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security
Because
Council.
it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
The president says no classified material was included in the texts. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is still on Oahu as part of his first official visit to the Indo-Pacific region. He arrived at Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam yesterday and was given a tour of the USS Arizona Memorial. Hegseth plans to travel to Guam, the Philippines, and Japan, where he'll participate in a ceremony commemorating the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Iwo Jima. A Maui doctor accused of trying to kill his wife on a windward Oahu hiking trail remains in police custody after a more than 6-hour manhunt yesterday. Eddie Dowd has more on what we know about the suspect.
Honolulu police say Gerhard Koenig tried to push his wife off the Pali Lookout Trail and struck her in the head with a rock. Law enforcement sources now say the alleged attack came after the victim refused to take a picture with Koenig around 10 a.m. Monday. Sources also tell us Koenig tried to prick his wife with syringes. Helicopters, K-9 units, and state and local law enforcement fanned out through the trail, looking for Koenig. Eventually, officers found Koenig along the Pali Highway, where he fled on foot just before sunset. A brief foot chase ended with Koenig in cuffs.
We had no idea. That's messed up, especially when you're, with your husband.
I hope his wife is okay. Obviously, we won't be able to get through, so we were disappointed, but it's over now.
While Koenig remains in custody, new details are coming to light about the 46-year-old. Maui Health confirms they employed Koenig through an independent agency and worked at various medical facilities across the Valley Isle, including Maui Memorial Medical Center. Maui Health did not disclose what type of treatment Koenig provided, but his LinkedIn profile says he is an anesthesiologist and has been on Maui since 2023. Prior to that, Koenig was an assistant professor of anesthesiology and bioengineering at the University of Pittsburgh. Now, at last check, Koenig's wife was listed in critical condition. Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
And we have a sad update to pass along on that 3-alarm house fire in the Liliha area yesterday. HPD says one of the residents, a 72-year-old man who was rescued from the home, has died. He was unresponsive when firefighters found him and was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but later passed. The fire happened on Stillman Lane. No word yet on what caused the house to go up in flames. Maui Mayor Richard Bisson presented his budget proposal for the upcoming fiscal year. He also spoke about the $1.6 billion federal grant for wildfire recovery efforts.
Guided by community meetings, the Lahaina Long-Term Recovery Plan, and the CDBG-DR Action Plan. These funds will support a community-driven and equitable recovery. While concerns have been raised about our administration's ability to utilize this funding, we are confident in our path forward. With 6 years to deploy these funds and extensions available if needed, our growing CDBG-DR team is building capacity.
Bison's $1.5 billion budget proposal includes funding to improve public transportation with 14 new electric buses and improving county and first responder communication systems. We're going to have more on this story online and on later editions of HNN. On Oahu, Aikahi Elementary School in Kailua is closed today due to an unidentified chemical odor on and around the campus. So far, they don't know where it's coming from, and no students or staff will be allowed on campus while HFD continues to investigate. The school is scheduled to reopen on Thursday. All public schools are already closed Wednesday for Prince Kuhio Day. Warning letters to car owners are in the mail.
It's no surprise that the intersection of School and Likelike recorded the most speeding during the data collection period. There are 4 cameras here, and the speed limits are low, 30 and 25 miles an hour.
No worries.
Because the law only allows us to install speed cams where we have red light cams, we're kind of stuck with the locations that we have right now.
Hawaii News Now reviewed a summary of the data that indicates that about 13,000 warnings per week would be generated at Likelike and School. 2 other hotspots, Poly Highway and School Street and Vineyard Boulevard at Liliha, could generate around 1,500 or 1,600 per week.
Closer to the freeway you get, the faster people go and the more red light running we see.
When the state began recording speeds on the 15 cameras, they found about 80,000 drivers a week going 5 miles or more above the limit.
I think it's pretty stunning to hear such high numbers.
So the state raised the threshold for a warning to 11 miles over the limit. At that speed, we estimate that would mean about 31,000 warnings per week. The huge volume led the state to extend the warning period all the way to October.
Well, I don't think there's any one silver bullet. It's going to take some tweaking.
There are a number of potential tweaks. They could reduce the number of cameras, like on Vineyard, where several intersections in a row have cameras. But changing the threshold for speed is the most obvious. The director says at 15 miles over the limit, you get down to about 7,000 a week, about what the state considers manageable.
We're looking at designing the system for 30,000 per month. That's what we're designing the capacity for.
Lawmakers are also comfortable with higher thresholds, especially at first.
You want to catch the people who are flagrantly and blatantly violating the law and really putting people in danger.
If the state does issue 30,000 citations a month at $100 each, that's $36 million a year. Some drivers wondering if that's the motivation.
I think it should be just to protect the citizens and not as a money-generating vehicle.
I think it'll hit a lot of people's pocketbook pretty hard, and I hope I'm not one of them.
The letters going out now are being automatically generated by the traffic camera contractor. But when citations are issued, the law requires each one to be reviewed by a sworn law enforcement officer. That's to increase the public's faith that genuine violators are being cited and that the money is meant to pay for the program and cover more roads and highways.
And we made it a point not to expand this program until we start building up the capacities to our judiciary and our law enforcement side.
The warning period will be nearly 7 months long. That's to give the state enough time to hire the sworn law enforcement officers they need to review every potential citation. Reporting from Kalihi, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Of course, high surf is still the major weather headline today. We've got high surf advisories out on north and west facing shores of Kauai, Oahu, Molokai, and also the north facing shores of Maui. Between 14 to 18 feet out there. That's going to last until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, but we are on the decline. Just showing you what we're expecting throughout the rest of this afternoon. North facing shores of Oahu around 12 to 16 feet. West facing shores 8 to 12. Small in town and seeing a small bump out there on east facing shores around 2 to 4 for this afternoon. Again, the advisory will end at 6 p.m. this evening, and you can see in our swell forecast all of this energy moving off to the east and southeast away from us. Really, we're not expecting much large surf over the next couple of days, all the way into this weekend. It looks to be relatively small. Coming up in my full forecast, I'll give you another look at this and the overall east/southeasterly flow we're seeing outside right now.
Thank you, Drew. Ahead on This Is Now, the FBI is stepping up its investigation into the surge of attacks against Tesla dealerships and cars around the nation. Plus, we'll head to Las Vegas for the grand opening of Zippy's newest restaurant outside Hawaii. The FBI launched a task force to investigate attacks against Tesla, with the director calling the acts domestic terrorism. The agency has been working to crack down on attacks on Tesla cars, charging stations, and showrooms in at least 9 states. The latest happened in Austin, Texas, where police found incendiary devices at a Tesla dealership yesterday morning. The DOJ has already charged several people accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at Tesla properties. Well, this week marks 5 years since Hawaii shut down due to the COVID pandemic. Today, UH doctors are studying the latest treatments for those suffering from long-haul symptoms. Some estimates say 12 to 15% of those who contracted the virus are still dealing with lingering symptoms 3 months more or longer. Symptoms include fatigue, fast heart rate, and dizziness. Now, one study is looking at the effectiveness of a certain medication.
We're looking at ivabradine to see if it can help improve the quality of life for a certain population of folks who have long COVID.
I can't believe it's been 5 years. It seems like it was just yesterday, and time kind of stands still for those of us who were deeply affected by it.
Former newscaster Angela Keene battled COVID for 2 months starting in March 2020 and is dealing with some lingering health issues. If you're interested in participating in a long COVID study, you can call the number on your screen. Hawaii residents and expats now have more options for local food in Las Vegas. Zippy celebrated the grand opening of its newest location in Sin City today. Ryan Kalesuji takes us there.
It's the second serving of chilies, malasadas, and more here at Zippy's second location here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
It's nice, feeling like home, right? It's very expensive to go back. So to have something here to kind of show that home is here as well, it's really nice.
The day began with a traditional Hawaiian blessing and also a Native American blessing by the Paiute tribe, all as eager customers waited to welcome Zippy's second location outside of Hawaii.
It's fortunate for us. The local food is made with love. I don't have any type of favorite. A lot of it is good. It's good.
Almost unbelievable that we're finally open. It is amazing that we have had so many customers visit us on this first morning of opening, and the excitement has just been overwhelming.
The new location hired nearly 90 new employees, many of whom are former Hawaii residents who now call Las Vegas home.
We've had many former residents relocate to all parts of the West Coast, and Las Vegas has definitely been one of the communities that have welcomed former Hawaii residents. So it is heartwarming for us to be able to provide employment for our team members that have a connection to Hawaii.
I believe their dream, and they're, helping them grow in Las Vegas as a company. And I just hopped on it, and it was the best move I ever did, and I'm learning a lot. So Vegas is actually, it's been my second home now. So
while no official announcement has yet been made, executives at Zippy say that they are looking at other locations here to expand their footprint in the Las Vegas area. Reporting from Summerlin in Las Vegas, Nevada, Ryan Kalesuji, Hawaii News Now.
And stick around, your first alert full forecast coming up after the break. Light winds and big surf are the big story.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. We're still tracking light southeasterly winds out there and big surf. That's really the big story as we're going forward throughout the rest of this week. That big surf, however, is on the decline. We're seeing those high surf advisories end at 6 p.m. today. Let's break down the overall weather pattern out there. We've got a relatively static weather pattern continuing throughout the rest of this week. Warm weather is going to continue. We've got a weak front off to our north, a disturbance. You can see that low pressure system. And of course, the high pressure system off to our northeast is causing the overall east/southeasterly weather pattern between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Zooming in a little bit closer to each island, we're expecting sea breeze showers possible throughout each afternoon. So we could be seeing some leeward showers pop up like we saw yesterday afternoon. And that's going to continue across each island. And as we go into the overnight, that's when we'll see a better chance for windward showers. So leeward showers during the afternoon, windward showers during the overnight and late and early morning hours. So that's what we're expecting over the next couple of days. And those light southeasterly winds really aren't going to go anywhere. We're going to expect them all the way into this upcoming weekend. Let's break down your island by island forecast for Wednesday. Over on Kauai, we've got scattered showers, mostly sunny conditions. On Oahu, sunny, south-southeasterlies between 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming a little bit light in the afternoon. Maui County, isolated showers and sunny, variable winds expected. Kahului around 85, 83 in Kihei. You'll notice these high temperatures, very warm, sunny and variable winds expected on the Kona side of the Big Island, mostly sunny, 82, and then also moving up to the northern portions of Hawaii Island, mostly sunny. A couple of showers are possible. Our winds outside right now, overall southeasterly flow, a little bit variable over in Kona, around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. In town, 15 miles per hour out of the southeast, so we're starting to see some humidity get introduced into the atmosphere. And you can see in our futurecast, there's that front, there's that disturbance that's going to continue to pass to our north. And we're actually seeing these stronger southeasterly winds right now because of that disturbance off to our northwest. That's not going to impact us very much. You can actually see it very clearly in our first alert radar and satellite. There's the low pressure system. It's off to our north, going to continue moving off to the north-northeast. But overall, relatively sunny out there right now, relatively nice weather. A couple of showers possible this afternoon over leeward areas, but relatively quiet right now. Your first alert 7-day forecast, you can see a lot of sunshine over the next couple of days. That front that we were talking about last week stayed well to our north of us, and because of it, we're seeing those variable winds, warm weather, and sunny skies.
Thank you, Drew. So to come, we go backstage and behind the scenes of Hawaii's new Cirque du Soleil show. Casey Lund takes us to Waikiki in 2 minutes.
All right, time for some good news now. 2 otters are on the run after escaping from a zoo in Green Bay, Wisconsin during a winter storm last week. Footage from New Zoo and Adventure Park shows North American river otters Louie and Ophelia having a night out in the fresh snowfall. According to staff, the otters broke out of their habitat through a small breach in buried fencing that they managed to enlarge just enough to squeeze through. For now, the slippery pair will have to rely on each otter. And we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at the new Cirque du Soleil Auana show.
That's right. The production opened in Waikiki a little over 4 months ago and has been wowing audiences ever since. Casey Lund shows us around.
Yeah, aloha, mahalo to the crew here at Auana. This is the first and only Hawaii resident Cirque du Soleil show, and we've had such an awesome opportunity to get a little behind the scenes look today and show you a little bit about how this is all pulled off here in this very special space that was constructed just for this show. Now we have a treat, a brief little taste of the hula performances, some of that you can experience here. We have Alana Seno and Kaleo Pinto. I'll let them take it away. Guys? Oh. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, I want to chat with you really fast and tell me a little bit about that. I know that was just kind of a little preview of the performance. Nalu, can you tell me a little bit about the significance of that?
Well, this act complements our Rolla Bola act, which is really, really exciting act to watch. And it emulates the waves that you would find in the ocean, the strength of the ocean and all the different, styles, calm and then intensive, and it intensifies.
Yeah, and I want to talk to Kaleo too, just a little bit about, the Native Hawaiian voices that are included in everything that goes into this show.
Oh yeah, we had an amazing cultural creative team that put a lot of work into making sure our stories were told in the appropriate way, and then the dancers, we take on the role of kind of grounding the performances while also bringing the stories to life through hula.
Honestly, it's totally fun to work at this show. Everybody works really great together, and so coming to work is just a dream in itself, just like the show.
Yeah, and I imagine another cool part of this, again, when we're talking about so many of the community members that we all know, Manaola, Yap, all the design, all the costumes, I'm sure those are fun to be a part of as well.
Oh, absolutely. Those costumes, they bring the stories to life in a whole different way, and you can really feel the power of them every time you put them on.
Yeah, and we want to mahalo Luana, who is here with us early, and all the work that she does in making sure that those, because I imagine we get a little TLC every now and then.
Oh, 100%. Without our team behind us, we can't do the show. We all work together in one big family, and that's how the show is able to be out there for everybody to watch.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't seen it to get them to come watch it?
Well, honestly, I feel like we offer something really different than what you are normal, like luau setting.
Yeah.
This is something that really has a deep appreciation for Hawaiian culture, what we do, and also the acrobats and us hula and the music all working together synergistically to create something really, truly memorable and fun to watch.
I want to thank you both, Kaleo and Alana. Thank you for being with us this morning and giving us a little preview of what folks can expect. 5:30 and 8:30, Wednesdays through Sundays, 30% discount for Kama'aina. Come check them out. Guys, we'll send things back into the studio for now.
I haven't seen the show yet.
I know.
I've been really meaning to go, but it looks really good.
Same. I love Cirque du Soleil. I've seen pretty much all the shows in Vegas. Yeah, it looks really great.
I've actually never seen a Cirque show.
Stop, Drew
I've
Davis.
never seen it. I need to go.
They're
There's
great.
one right here, and it's right in Waikiki.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, thanks for watching. This is Now. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL, and we're going to have your latest headlines and weather reports and traffic coming up. See ya.